Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. Just going to go on. We're still trying to finish this chickadee. We are going to do the feet and the legs today for the chickadee, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'll give you a couple of choices, and then I'll show you how. Okay? We work it and what the sizes are and a whole bit. Okay, so bear with me, and I'll move the camera down so that you can see everything, and we'll have that thing rolling. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start making feet for the chickadee, and I want to show you one. This is a casting that was obtained that I sell that comes from a real chickadee, and this is the size of it. And if you needed a measurement, at least from the joint where it goes into the body to where it comes down to the foot, it's 5/8. Okay, so that's something in case you ever want to make your own. These feet, and I don't know how well you can see these, are really small. They're really tiny. I utilize feet that are cast most of the time because I like to save time. But if you ever wanted to make it, you get a copper wire, and you got to get a thinner one for the feet, or you could use this and then you got to grind it down. But you would get at least a bend from here, at least a straightaway of 5/8, and then you'll bend it. And I'm going to show you how to do it and what I use. I used annealed steel. This is florist wire, and what I do is I come down about 3/8 or a 1/2 inch from here to the next bend. I just bend it slightly, and that's 5/8, and that's all you need. And then what I do is I come in with wire cutters, snip it off like that. Now that's a leg. Now what I also have that's available too, you can get it with the foot and the leg in one piece, or you can get just the toes. And what I always profess is to bend the middle toe up and then bend it down. Also get your nails sort of arching a little bit so that they look natural, and there's a slight bend, just a slight arch to the whole foot. Now, the way feet are set up on a bird, this back toe is the inside left. It's facing inward, and the other toe, let me get that and I'll show you, let me flip this around, is on the inside this way. So both toes are facing inward or favoring the inside. So that's the way it goes. For this bird, this would be the left-hand side, and this would be the right-hand side. And all the toes are always concentrated in the middle back here, okay? And that's how you want to set it up officially. And these already have it so that one side's facing one way, and it's got the leg already built in. So this is easy. This is 1, 2, 3. This, I'm going to show you how to put it together. And with the copper, what you would do here is you would bend it just like I did this and get that going. And a lot of times you'll get this into whatever you're going to try to solder, and then get 3 toes coming straight, one straight out, just like these, and one coming this way. And these are probably, let me measure these toes for you, just so you have some measurements. It looks like they're 3/8 on either side on the outside, and on the inside they're probably about a 1/2 inch long. So it's a 1/2 inch on the middle toe and 3/8 on either side, and I believe the back toe is also about 3/8. So if you need a size, that'll do it. On the wire, I sell this too. They're about 18 inches long. I sell them for like 10 cents a strand. They're florist wire, so if you have a source of getting them, you can get them wherever they're available to you. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this on here, and I'll show you how I do it. And like I said, the easy way, everything's made up here for you with these cast feet with legs. But if you, sometimes you want to cheat a little bit when you're mounting the bird, depending on what you're putting it on, you may want to foreshorten. So you may want to make this a little less so that you can attach it to something and sort of cheat a little bit. But if it looks okay, you can get away with it. And sometimes the leg doesn't have to be so exposed. And even way we pick the location on a bird is halfway between the beak and the tail. If you measured and got about the midpoint, that's where you want to put your feet into the body. And you want to come in probably about 3/8 in from each side of the wing, okay, roughly. Let me see. I'll take a measurement here. Yeah, about that. Make it 1/4 of an inch in from the wings at the midpoint. And that's where these would go into the body, okay? But I'll show you that when we go to finalize this and get this installed in here. But right now, I'm just concentrating on how you make the feet and the legs and so on. I recommend the casting, but you can get copper wire and make your own too. And that's the measurements, like I said. It's just a length that goes into the body here. This will go into your base. And the feet, depending on how you're making it, if you're making it with copper, there'd be toes coming off right at this joint here and on the back. So for the cast feet, I'm going to show you how I do this. There's a hole already prepped for the feet. And what I do is I get the wire and I slide this in, okay? And what I'm going to do is I get a little bit of styrofoam. This happens to be like I've been using this forever. It's just like a packing rubber foam type thing. Even if you get some florist foam that you put into a setting if you don't have it, or even some styrofoam that you have around, anything will do. But I get the longest leg and I stick that into here, and then I get this down so that the joint is just bending right at the top of the toes, okay, or the foot here, I should say. And then I get the other leg and I stick that through, Oh, you know what? I skipped something here. Before we even put this together, let me back up a second. Missed a step that I generally do all the time. And I'm going to get just a block of steel, and I use this when I used to do some jewelry work, and this is polished, but you can do it on anything and just hammer it. What I want to do is I want to hammer that 5/8, the straightaway. So I'm going to come in here and hammer that flat on both sides so that you have it flat in there. It's not have to be real fat. It just takes the roundness off. And I'm gonna, let's see, did I do it on this one yet? Yes, I did it on this one as well. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You can hammer this on anything, but if you have something that's steel, it'll flatten better. And you just want to, you don't want to do it all. You don't need to. It's just the center section in here. Okay, so anyway, you get the feet. I'm going to get the longer leg here and push it into the styrofoam. Let where the bend is just at the top of the foot, and then I'm going to get the other one and I'm going to get that over here. And again, the other thing you want to do is separate these out a little bit and then make sure you got a little bit of an arch and the nail coming down so that it's prepped to the position you need to get it in. And we get that over here. I'll do that to the back to a little bit of an arch. And I'll get the longer leg of the wire, that is, and stick that in like that. So it's just sticking out right like that. Now, you could come along and you could get, I like to use 5-minute epoxy on that. And I usually mix up 2 parts, very little, and put it on right at that spot, which is right here, right in here, where the wire meets the foot. And you can use the gel super glue to get it in place. You come out and you would squirt so much out and just get that around, and then do the other one as well, okay? And or you do it with 5-minute epoxy. It's whatever is convenient to you, but it should be one or the other. 5-minute epoxy tends to really do it well. So you let that set, and a 5-minute epoxy, I usually give it a half an hour to set. And you just need to do it on top here, you know, where the separation is here, where the hole is, where it's going through. And if you get it a little bit up on the wire and a little bit onto the foot itself, that usually comes out. And after you've done that, I'm going to ask you, if you have a matte medium around, I would say paint the whole thing with matte medium, even the feet and the legs. And there's several sealers. It's called an all-purpose sealer. This is Joe Sanyo. But if you have matte medium, that'll work out good for you too. That'll do it. And you coat the whole thing and let that dry. After you've done that, then I'm going to ask you to get titanium white after the whole thing dries. And I'm going to ask you to paint the whole thing above the bend on the upper part and all the lower part and underneath, and a little bit of the wire going down below the foot, okay? And once you got that done, then all you need to do is we're going to paint it. And to paint it, all we need to do is we want to get, for the chickadee, I've got a set here already ready to go. That's done, glued and everything else. And what you want to do, and I'm going to get you the paint. I use raw sienna, and I get a little bit of this in a paint tray, and I'll show you how I do this. I'm going to get this here. Just going to put a little bit, which is more than enough. I'm going to put just a drop or two of water in there because I want to keep this on the heavy side. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to mix that good. Get the excess off. And this is on the heavier side, and I don't have a problem with that. And I'm going to get this and paint the whole thing. Both the top and the bottom, and around, all the way through. On the underneath side, I want to get everything coat. Okay, so we're going to get this coated pretty good. And you want to get all of the white turning, and if there's any silver of the casting still showing, you definitely got to cover that. So what I usually like to do is I'll paint this. I think I've seen something that I missed, and I hope you guys can see this. I've been drifting here with the camera. I mean, with my painting here. There's some in there I missed. You want to make sure you get everything on it. Then push it back in there. Let that sit. And then get your next one. And you want to spread this paint out pretty good because it's thick. And it'll just, you want to really move it so that all of the paint is not bunched up. Okay, so you're just putting a nice thick coat, but it's not laying thick. You want to coat it fairly thin, but you're getting it all coated with a heavy coat. It's almost a one coat does it all, but that's not true. I find that every time I think I have everything, I don't. So what I'm going to tell you to do is to let this dry and then give it a second coat. And that's a must. Just to guarantee that you got everything that's needed. And you can use a hair dryer and expedite this a little more. Again, always rinse your brush out after you're done using it and get all the paint out. And then if you got a paper towel or something, see, I'm still getting the paint out of this brush. And this will preserve the brushes so that you can use these forever. Okay, but you got to get that paint out of there. So that's the procedure. You can, and if you're using the castings, all you need to do is put the sealer on. And like I said, it could be a matte medium or it could be an all-purpose sealer. This is a Joe Sanya one. But there's metal sealers. And that's all I'm trying to do is I'm going to paint into the threads a little bit on this casting and the toes, and even on the rod that's threaded about halfway down. making sure that all the paint is on there. Well, you put the sealer on first. That definitely you want to give about half an hour to dry. You can use the hair dryer if you want to set it up faster, and then you go and paint it white after that. And then after that, and it's dry and everything else, then you go to let me show you. I sort of went right past that. This is raw sienna, so I'm asking you to hit that with the raw sienna, which is that. And that's only a couple drops, maybe 2 or 3 drops into maybe a BB size of paint. And that will coat even the casting with the legs too. And that's all you need to do. And it gets a little more involved with the copper. And I really don't get into it myself, but maybe someday I'll show you how to make it out of copper. I prefer the castings. Let's put it this way. I was in the business of selling a lot of the equipment, and I do have a lot of castings. They're not that expensive. If you're interested in any of the castings, I have just the toes. I also sell the wire. I think the toes are like $3 or $4, something like that, a set. And the wire, you can get an 18-inch strand, or 18 inches long, for 10 cents or something like that, and you could do several birds. If you're doing like a cardinal, I have cardinal feet or other birds, bigger birds, that go, the wire goes heavier, and the holes are made to let you go with a heavier wire in there as well. And then after this is, like I said, you want to join these things up with 5-minute epoxy again, or you can use super glue, and then let that set, and make sure that where the bend is, it's just about going into the foot itself, okay, or the feet at the bottom here. And that is where the location is for this. So hope you got something out of this one. We will be attaching this in the next video onto the bird. And we're also I'm going to show you, as I had mentioned before, I'm going to do a wall hanging for the chickadee. So I will show you how to do that as well. And we'll give you a couple ideas on that, how you can make wood, and what I use, and what you can find in nature that you could use as well, okay? So I'll see you on the next video. If you need any of the feet or castings, contact me. My email address is in the comments section of the video. And you can also make comments there if you have any questions. And so if you can give me a thumbs up on this one, I'd appreciate it. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd love that as well. And I'll see you on the next video. And just let me know. Give me some feedback. I'm always open for suggestions. We did a lot on this sealing of the bird and stuff like that, and I hope I didn't confuse a lot of people. But we'll see you on the next video. Thanks again.